Welcome back to another jam-packed MMA episode of the Kick Him in the Head podcast. And tonight we are doing the EFC 126 recap show. And to help me break it all down, as always, I have the Kraken, Achi, and BJJ Jenkins. Brendan, gentlemen, how are you guys doing tonight? I see a
I'm good,
Pikachu in
man.
the
Good, good,
mix.
good.
Yeah, man. I'm still a bit tired from the weekend, but like, I don't know why you brought this guy. Like, I told you to never bring this guy ever again, bro. Like, the looks that he gave me in EFC, bro. I don't want to see that guy again. Like, he
Make
even
it
did the
happen,
whole,
brother. Let's make it happen.
he even did a whole suck it, and I was like, bro, we have kids around. Why would you do that?
Look, at this point,
Why would
Achi,
you run
that
and say
is
1-0,
all
brother?
on you.
1-0.
Bro, but like, yeah, I wasn't feeling a little bit confident there, but like, hey, man, props to your guy. Props to your guy.
Damn right.
Look, shout out Brendan. I think you and I, just before the match started, we were watching the previous fight, talking. As soon as that fight started, you were like, listen, I'm gonna go sit with my team because we gotta watch my boy Gift the Daywalker absolutely obliterates Fusisu, which isn't what happened. But you know what? With that said, let's get into the card. Let's have a look at
Let's do it.
EFC 126. Now, fantastic card. A few cancellations on the card. The fight between Plaikis and Munchela was called off. Also, very early, the fight for Ashishi Tsamba was called off, as well as the one for Intando Zondi. But Intando did get a replacement in Raugelo Muitsela. So, starting with the cancellations and the card that we got, were you guys happy? Brendan, let me start with you.
Look, I only pulled through, made it off the kids' class for the main card, but dude, I saw some crazy stuff. That crescent kick from Zane. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What a good fight.
You know,
The card
I
didn't
can only say one thing
the
to that.
card
Sorry.
didn't
Kick
disappoint
over
at
the
all.
head. I had to.
The card didn't disappoint at all for me, to be honest with you.
And how about you, Achi?
Definitely, man. Like the overall hype and vibe of the event was really dope. Like uh, yes, for us, it started a bit shit with them not wanting to let us in because apparently we got tickets. Bro, that was just the whole crazy thing. But like, hey, man, we'll save it for another time. But like, yeah, man. Cause dog, like this was a kind of a stacked card, like from Zico to like bro, like then Gift, you know, we had Gift and like that was like a really nice, because we usually are used to Gift being a main event and to just to show the caliber of like the I would say the quality of this card. Um, Gift was like third last fight, and bro, when Tando Zondi came in, I was even tired, bro, because I was just dancing from his entrance song. Then we had like a whole Van Royen tile fight where he just showed why he does not belong in the EFC. He belongs in the UFC. So shout out to that kid, man. He's such an animal, and yeah, looking forward to seeing more of him. I would say outside of South Africa.
Very true. Look, I think it was a great card. For me, despite the changes, we still, like you said, managed to get the title fight that Van Rooyen needed, the international fight after having come off his previous international title fight against the Brazilian. And he showed, like you said, he showed levels. The fact that he is one of the best in the world right now, definitely the best in his region, looking for more challenges, bigger challenges. And the rest of the card for me definitely delivered. It was a good card. Unfortunately, as usual, not enough females on the card. We wish we would have had more female fights, but those who were on the card definitely delivered. And I think the prelims, as always, if you don't watch the EFC prelims, you miss out on amazing fights, absolutely fantastic fights. But yeah, so for me as well, I think the card definitely delivered. But let's chat about the title fight. Let's chat about the fight between Vili and Anatoly Gaffin. We saw Vili coming in here, showing his skills, ending it with a choke. Brendan, let me start with you. How did you feel about his performance on the night in retaining his title?
Look, man, he did what he needed to do to get it done. And it's he came out hot in that first round, put some striking on Vili. Every time Vili kicked, he threw that big overhand. So, I mean, he was definitely in the fight, but you could see that Joburg Air got to him. He started to gas. He started getting tired toward the end of the first round. And as soon as Vili hit the takedown, and it was that easy for him to take him down, even in the first round, I was like, this is going to be a long night for this guy. And when Vili got him down in the second, put that choke on, it was end of the day, man. End of the day.
Yeah.
Aki, now you said that you were already excited. You were already tired by the time this fight started because of Ntando Zondi's entrance. When Willie actually got in the choke and actually ended the fight, what was the atmosphere around you? How were people reacting to this, to his win?
Bro, I was primarily chilled with like, I would say like these are kind of like sponsors of like these athletes, you know. Um, the whole atmosphere was just like electric, you know, because it's like pride, you know. You got these guys, South African guys, who are just showing up and popping out, and just killing these international fighters, and they just show, man. Like, big shout out to EFC for bringing these international fighters in, you know, because then like we don't have to wake up at 4 a.m. to watch Vili fight, you know. So big shout outs to them, man. It was a crazy fight, man, but it just showed that like Vili is levels above, I would say, the EFC roster, you know. Like, so okay. We got my number one hater. We got my number
I
one
think
hater right
I
here.
think I like Vili as a human. Like, dude, he's such a nice person, and it's unfortunate that there is someone in the division that can expose him. I just he needs to earn his way a little bit there before we talk about giving him a title shot.
Okay, okay.
So I'm not sure what's going on with the chats down there. It's not showing the actual emojis, but shout out Melissa Monyani in the chats. Thank you for joining us. She says, happy. Everyone was going crazy. What? When they saw that win from Willy van Rooyen. I agree. I was absolutely ecstatic, screaming my lungs out, as you guys know, at every event when I saw this win. But now that he's gotten this win, now he's gotten two international fights in a row. He's 7-0. What's next for him? What should he call for next? Should he be trying his best to get out of the EFC? Should he be rather trying his best to get bigger competition in? Because now at 7-0, you have a lot of guys who enter the UFC at this record. Is he ready for that? Let me start with you, Brendan.
Look, it's a very pretty record. He's got a lot of finishes. He's got decision wins. He's got knockout wins. He's got submission wins. So it is appealing for him to go. I do think, like, Dana would look at someone like that and think it's a good fighter. He's got some international experience. He's got 2 international fights. I don't think we should send him just yet. I think, like, I see him training at CIT, learning some wrestling and some grappling. I think let's increase that level first before we send him, because I think he can be great. I really do think he can be great, but don't send him to the shocks just yet. Just give him a one or two more fights.
Don't end his career too early. If he does stay, Achi, what can they do with him? Because a dominant champion at this point, I mean, he's been beaten 2 international opponents in a row, training at the world-renowned CIT. What next? What does the UFC do with him? What did Grayman actually sit and cook up
Man,
next?
fuck you asking me for. You got this guy who's like there's somebody. You got this guy who says there's somebody in the EFC that could expose him. Ask this dude right here. Ask this dude right here. You know, don't ask me. But like
Look,
I would just say, man,
look.
like
I don't
yes,
think UFC should be next for him. Maybe an
yeah,
international fight. Give him UAE Warriors. Give him KSW. Give him Give him an internet Cage Warriors, even give him an
Yeah,
international organization. Not quite UFC just yet.
yeah, definitely. I agree on that. I agree on that because I don't want him to hit a brick wall like Cameron Simon. Then we have to like hold our breath for somebody who's just like stuck on losing. I would say, like, and obviously they're gonna. What I love about like Vili's camp, like they're not rushing him. They're
Yeah,
not rushing him to be great. Take for instance, look at what going to Saudi did to Lucky Makeka. Like, bro, dude was like a mauler, and and obviously we do know that when these guys go to Saudi, they give them they're there to prop up their fighters. They're
yeah,
not there to build their careers. Check what they did to Faiz Jacobs. They gave him somebody who
savages,
was,
savages.
yeah. So it's that. I think we need to the EFC needs to just get like big investments, like bring all these international fighters in, and have all these nice cards. Bring the Dagestanis, bring a couple Dagestanis to EFC.
So you say that, and I see you holding a Pikachu. Quickly tell us why you're holding a Pikachu, and then I'll just add on to what you just said because there's a very important question
Okay,
there.
bro, this is my emotional support Pikachu, right? Like, after seeing the knee that they gave to my boy, but like he's well, he's in good spirits, and yeah, this is my emotional support Pikachu right now. I'm carrying it every day.
One of these,
Uh,
brother. One of these.
no, 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 no. I'm racist. I'm racist, brother. I don't need one of those. I need the original. I'm a self-hating black. But yeah, bro. Like I said, like yeah, Pikachu, man. It was, but like big shout out to PFL, bro. Big shout out to PFL, bro. Like, see that they
So
made
with that
sure
said, Achi,
that they left Joburg in a wreck.
that leads me to exactly what my next question is. As we're talking about Vili and you're holding the Pikachu, if we look at how the EFC fighters performed on the night, the active EFC fighters, and I think a few past EFC fighters, they all lost. We've got Frederick Ilo Frickie versus heavyweight fighter in the chat saying PFL Africa would be a great start for Vili if they were here next year again. Now, if we saw all the fighters losing, does that level? And I can't really give you the reasons why they lost, but the fact is they lost. So if he does go to a KSW, if he does go to a UAE Warriors, and we've seen, like you said, we have another champion who went over Faiz Jacobs who lost. What does that really mean? And I'm just asking the question because we're looking at the actual numbers where we had multiple EFC fighters on one night versus one going here and there to a KSW or UAE Warriors and then losing. Is that not a consistent thread? What does it mean?
I think it comes to that. Yeah,
Either of you
I
go for
think
it.
it's just it comes to that thing of like I would say the matchmakers like just cherry picking fights to prop up fighters. Like I think it's also that like like they they would avoid the biggest fights because I don't know, maybe like they don't have enough money to bring in to pay the fighters to fight each other, or because like everybody who would take a risk if like this guy has like a higher chance of knocking you out where you could just crush a can. I don't want to say uh, much on the negative side of the matchmaking because like look what the amount the card they just gave us, like it was just so stunning. The mere fact that we got like Majuba versus what is it, Jesse or something.
Yeah, Jesse
um
Shepard.
yeah, like we got a match like that, and I hate to say it, they both cans, but like we got two cans slamming against each other, and that was fun to watch. We got two cans slamming against each other.
And I think that begs my question because the matchmakers can only work
Yeah,
with what they have. So we can't blame the matchmakers
yeah,
at all. It then comes down to the actual fighters in and of themselves, and maybe even the gyms. But I'm not necessarily calling out the EFC. It's more saying, is the standard of MMA here as high as we think it is just because we have a South African champion, or are we not really at that level? So not necessarily talking about EFC, but specifically talking about the quality of MMA in South Africa in terms of the performances that we're seeing from fighters who are training here and going
Yeah.
abroad.
I think we have world class athletes. Um,
Brendan,
yeah, I think we have world class
because
athletes. I
you
just think
if I disagree,
not every
don't kill me, network.
not every gym is well rounded, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
if you look at a, and I don't mean no disrespect to any gym, man. Everyone is got their own formula, has got their own way of training. But if you look at certain gyms, you know what they're going to bring. You look at uh, a Mamelodi Warriors, you know they're going to come and kickbox the hell out of you guys. You look at a CIT, you know they're going to have a little bit more of a well-rounded game. You look at maybe CGA, the guys from like Pot, they got more of a grappling system. So I think as gyms around the country, we need a little bit more well-roundedness than than just one dimensional being great at a specific part of the game.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that sounds about accurate. I think, look, we belabored this. Oh
No,
yeah,
I'm just
Aki, go
saying,
for it.
like, I agree with Brandon for the first time in a while, because he's always spewing some like the peak the burnt as crummy as Pikachu that he has. He's always, he's always speaking some dark, decrepit shit. But like I agree with him. But I agree with him. Like it's that. Like we need more. I hate to say it. Yes, it's a competition. Yes, we got like different. I think we personally need. I would say gyms to collaborate with each other. Like because like instead of people just jumping ship and going to the next gym and go to the next gym, we just need like gyms to be working with each other. Personally, yeah.
Okay, well, with that said, we definitely wish Billy the best. I hope he wins. I hope he becomes another international champion of what I've seen. But shout out to Billy Van Rooyen for winning his fight. Now, with that said, let's look at how everyone else on this card at EFC 126 performed. Let's look at the winners very specifically. Who won at EFC 126? And there we have the list of winners. We had Veja Hinder winning his fight against Ash Zola. On Tapology, it says that Zola won. I have no idea. They would get it wrong, but we had Veja Hinder winning his fight. We had Vuyo Jula winning his fight against Yana Vilakazi, one of four rear naked chokes on the night. Fight against Sukakune. We lost Sukakune. We had Schaefer against Majuba. Like you said, great fight. Two cans knocking against each other makes music if you knock it in the right way, and they made beautiful MMA music. Then we had Mukari versus Makeka. Makeka came out on the bottom. Unfortunately, he did not win that fight. Zane Tanos, kick him in the head, Tanos, at this point with an absolutely stellar crescent kick, the first crescent kick knockout in the EFC from Zane Tanos against Stefan the Show Boyson. Zico the Gorilla Makangelo is back against Okoso. Wallace Okoso, he won his fight. Then Gift the Day Walker beat Sibusi Soventle in the other rear naked with another rear naked choke on the night. Then the Zulu warrior Ntando Zondi beat Kauchel Mujela. I think that was another rear naked choke there. And then Billy Van Rooyen with the fourth rear naked choke of the
Zondi
night
was
to
PKO.
win the title against Anatoly Gaffin.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
Zondi was
Zondi was
Yeah.
TKO. Sorry. So, so of those wins, of those fights, of those wins, which win excited you guys the most? Achi, let me start with you.
Yeah, thank you. you
Sorry, Brent,
you
I
got
gotta get in
you got
first.
that son of a bitch. You got that son of a bitch. Yeah, man.
He's ready.
Personally,
He's
man,
ready.
like the fight that I was like obviously really hyped about was the Makari versus Makeka, Lucky Makeka fight. Like it was It was like on paper it was a bit shaky, but like, hey man, like the boys put it on, man. Like the whole blood situation with Lucky's nose, that was like pure MMA, you know. That was pure MMA, and that was the one fight I personally enjoyed. You know, I would say from the fights that we weren't there to see, that was the one that stood out for me. And yeah, I would say I'll let Brendan talk, but I wish I had the like the mute button or something. But like, hey man, like
Look, you did choose the fight of the night, so I mean, like,
So
can't really
Brendan,
say
which
much
fight?
about that.
yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how would you, Brendan?
Obviously, man. The fight I was most excited to watch, the fight I was most excited with the results of was the Gift Walker fight. Man put on a show. Afterwards, those dance moves that man was having, when he from the walk to the cage to the ending to the press conference, that man was having way too much fun, and he just came in and put on a show and deserved that performance bonus that they gave him.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think for me, the fight I was actually looking forward to was the Zico Makengele fight, and he ended it. So happy with that. Always good to see the gorilla coming back. Yes, it was against what we could call a can in Wallace Okoso, but he did what he needed to do in spectacular fashion, and that's what you want to see from a fighter
Yeah,
that's
we
given
watched.
a fight like this. You don't want to see them flounder at such an
Yeah, we
easy
watched that
step.
fight together. I remember.
Yeah, yeah, and he put it on him. He showed that he's, I guess, fighting at CIT right now. Now, with that said, let's have a look at the performance bonuses and the fighters that performed at the next level, if you will, at this fight night. So, performance bonuses went to Gift the Day Walker.
Damn
Why is my
right.
system so slow? Oh my gosh. Gift the Day Walker, Billy Van Rooyen, the champion, and Zane Tunnels for the 14-second crescent kick KO. And the fight of the night, like Achi called out, was the son of Egypt, Moses Mukari, versus Lucky Makeka. That was the fight of the night. It was an absolutely bruising fight until right at the end when Moses Mukari was like, okay, you know what? I think we need to end this now. It's time. And that was the fight. That was a great fight there from those two gentlemen. Uh, of these performance bonuses, at least from my perspective, definitely all deserved. What are your thoughts? Is there anyone else you would have put here to get a performance bonus based on their performance on the night? Brendan, let's start with you.
From what I saw, um, no, not really. I think that's perfectly set, man. I obviously didn't see the prelim, so I can't talk on that. But yeah, how can you not give Zayn a performance bonus for that kick? Gifty, obviously, phenomenal performance, and Villy, because Villy didn't have as an easy fight as people thought he was going to have. He did have a bit of a war in round one, and then when the chips came down to it, he put the guy on his back and did what he needed to do to finish the fight.
Fair enough. Although personally, I also want to see Villy go past the third round. I want to see him in championship rounds. Is one thing. He has gone to decision before, but championship rounds are championship rounds. And if you find a fighter who can get through the three, and then you lose the last two, that's tough. So one thing I'd like to see is Villy get a fighter where that fighter can take him through to championship rounds, and then I think he definitely will get the notice of a UFC or a very good contract from a Brave or wherever, because that's really when you can see the metal of a fighter. Shout out to Nick Wende, the former bantamweight champion of Brave. Phenomenal fighter. He was winning his fight all the way to the fourth round until just at the end of the fourth round, he got caught in a choke. So it's one of those things that championship rounds make a difference. Yes, you can finish your opponents, but when you get someone who doesn't get finished in the three, what do you do? Achi, is there anyone that you would put here in terms of performance bonuses on how they performed on the night that's not been given a performance
I would say,
bonus?
personally, man, I know my number one hater is gonna like this, but like, I just want to say, there's nobody I would remove, and I just want to send a shout out to Gift, man. Gift, like he just showed like major fight IQ. Um, this just just remember that I'm only saying this once. Like, so I think you could record this, like put it on a fucking t-shirt or something, because this is never coming out of my mouth again. I would say, yeah, man, like Gift showed us like real high fight IQ, man. Like from the faking of the takedowns to like he just showed like he just knows how to fight. You know, he knows how to fight, and he saw that like Triple S was going, was anticipating like that he was gonna get choked out. Then like Gift kind of played towards that, and like I hate to say it, man. Like yes, Brandon gave me like a suck it DX hands on crutch, but like hey man, I just want to say man, it was a fun, you really get to see like high, like the MMA that people talk about, that it's a game of chess, like that it's like it's something where it's mixed martial arts and like smart people do it. Most of the time we see slugfests, but like then you get to see a calculated, meticulous performance by Gift, and you're just like wow, like I see where where how he's become this dominant fighter who's been winning fights, and yeah, um, I hate to say it, but it was
Nope, is Aris.
Oh,
Peace out,
okay.
bro.
That was his network, not mine. I thought that was on my side. Okay, bye, Achi. We'll see you soon. Shout out Melissa Mignoni in the chat, enjoying what Achi was saying. And I think I just want to sort of echo what he was saying because for me, I was looking forward to a good performance from Spusisu. That's what he gave us in the first round. I think that he was putting enough pressure on Gift, but that's exactly what Aki was saying in terms of Gift showing the fight IQ because with what Spusis was doing, Gift was like, oh, okay, is this it? No, 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 hang on. And then he literally just used his fight IQ, flipped it around, and he took that fight. And that's what you want to see. Like he said, that's what you
Can I
want to
give you
see in a
can I give
fight
you a
like Gift.
crazy
That's what
stat?
you call a good fighter.
Can I give you a crazy stat?
Yeah,
Excluding the leg kicks,
we're
because
listening.
Gift is notorious for just like taking those leg kicks. He's got legs of steel. Excluding the leg kicks, Gift got hit twice. Twice.
Really?
Clean landed shots. Twice.
hey man, I'm back, man. You see, my guys didn't want me to say that shit. My guys didn't want me to say that shit. Okay, trust me, bro. Like that is my gods. I will never ever say nothing good about Gift Walker again. Gift Walker's a bum. He's never getting a title shot. Hey man,
Come to our
yeah.
gym so he can choke you out, please. I'd love to watch that.
Oh,
I have a date. I have a date with the Black Panther, Terrence Balero.
Terrence,
I'll add you to the list. I'll add you to the list.
you're about to be the choked out king. Melissa in the chat asking, did someone cut him off? It wasn't me, Melissa. It wasn't me.
Amen.
He
I
cut
did.
himself
I
off
didn't
because
cut
he
myself
was
off.
not
That was
supposed to be saying what he
God
said.
telling me I do not need to be here. I do not need. I told you I should have left. I should have left. I should have left when I saw Brandon. Like here I am again, just spewing some mentally retarded shit. But yeah, man, let's go. Tell me how I lost, Yao. Tell me how I lost. I know you. Tell me how I lost.
Oh, we're about to, bro. Before we get there, in the chat, Fricky Ilof says Sibusisu needs to take a break and regroup. He's been taking fights left and right and center. Body wear and tear is real. Regroup and come back stronger because he does have talent. I agree with you 100%, Frederick. I think a little break will do him some good just to get his head right. I saw him at the PFL event. We did have a chat. He's like, I'm already back to training. I'm ready to go for the next fight. But,
That's my
you know,
boy. That's
maybe
my boy.
I mean, he's ready. He doesn't care about the loss. Doesn't matter. He loves to fight, But loving to fight and loving to win can also be different things. Because at this point, he needs to love to win more than he needs to love to fight if he wants to win. So I'm looking forward to seeing him back. I love Spusisu. But maybe, yeah, like Frederick said, he needs to take a little break, regroup, so that he can come back with a win. Or EFC should set him up just like they did with the Gorilla, where they give him a can, let him knock against the can a little bit, maybe two cans, get his confidence back, and then keep going. I don't know, but taking these big fights against guys like Gift, guys like Faiz, because if you look at who he's been losing to, it's either been champions or former champions or guys who are literally en route to the championship. So he's been taking those tough fights, and maybe the regrouping should be more around who he fights, not necessarily taking a full on break. Maybe that's down to his coaching, maybe that's down to his manager. I'm not sure, but I agree he does have the talent. Let's see what's next for him, because we know what's next for Achi. We're about to we're about to talk about his scores. To everyone who's watching, if you are not aware, we do have an EFC underdog parlay competition that we run before each EFC event, where you have to pick exactly three underdogs. An underdog is defined as a fighter who has more than 2.0 odds in terms of decimal odds. Uh, the participants can't pick fewer than three underdogs, and from there you multiply it out to see exactly what your winning score is for the week. Now, where it comes to bonuses, there's a bonus multiplier if you pick all three correct. There's an upset jackpot if you get a bonus of more, sorry, if you get points of more than 50, which no one has come close to so far, and a black sheep bonus if you're the only one to pick a dog that wins on the night. And I can safely say I've won one of those bonuses. High five for me. Holla, holla, holla. Yeah, I know that's self-aggrandizing, but whatever.
Yao the dictator.
Moving on to the actual. Yes, sir. Call me Aladdin. So if you have a quick look at it, the only dog on this card was Vejahinda. The only dog to actually win was Vejahinda. All the other
Dude,
dogs that were
that guy had
selected,
so much support.
they all lost.
Like, if you go and look at the comments on the EFC page, there's just Namibian flags everywhere. That guy had so much support.
The Namibians support, they are producing great fighters, as we're seeing. They have a lot of IMAF fighters. They're very strong in IMAF, and maybe that's now starting to filter through to the regional scene in fighters like Veja Hindi, Hinda. So from your side, Achi, did you expect more dogs to? Well, one other thing is the only dog that wasn't picked was Wazuko, so none of us thought he'd win, and he didn't. So okay, cool. Melissa in the chat says maybe it's more of a passion rather than competition for Spusisu. So with all these dogs, there wasn't really a favorite dog on this card. Usually we have one dog that's stacked, but Veja was actually the most picked dog between him and Majuba. Sorry, between him and Lucky Makleka, where four people picked them, but they did not win their fights. Coming very quickly to the scoreboard, because I'm itching to get there. I want to see it. I want to show Achi where he is. There we go.